big business ideas of entrepreneurs who dared to dream. Take off on the runway to success with ET Now's Aromita Chatterjee.
Hello and welcome to Season 2 of Lufthansa Runway to Success, a series in which India's successful men and women guide, inspire and mentor India's new breed of entrepreneurs. On the show today, we are joined by a master hotelier who has built a chain of hotels and resorts at a scorching pace over the last 12 years. He saw the need for mid-sized, affordable business hotels in India and gave up his cushy corporate career to fill this gap. Today, he's also catering to the luxury and budget hotel segments. An IIT and IIM alumnus, he's the brain behind one of India's fastest growing hotel chains. Please welcome the chairman and managing director of the Lemon Tree Hotel Company, Patu Keswani.
Hi.
Hi, Patu. So Patu, let's talk a little bit about hotels today, but your life began on a very different note, including your academic route that you took, and you took the expected steps, took up a corporate cushy job, but then what made you veer into becoming an entrepreneur?
Well, I guess you can say it was a midlife crisis. And I was, I guess, toying with the idea of, I had worked for many years with the Tata Group. It's a fantastic group to work with. But I wanted something different. So, I left the Tatas and joined a consulting firm, A.T. Kearney. And after 2 years, I realized that, Kearney was half entrepreneurial. So I had kind of, my mindset had changed. And then I said, let me go and become an entrepreneur. But that was ready to retire.
So typically when we talk to entrepreneurs, either you have one big unique idea, or you do the same thing in a different way, or you approach a unique market segment. I mean, there are various permutation combinations. But when you started out with your idea of a budget hotel, you didn't find too many takers. I mean, funding in the beginning was an issue.
Well, in the beginning, I had enough money to build a very small hotel. And to come back to your original question, I wanted to build a small hotel in India which did not exist, in a category which did not exist. So I actually ideated and created a design for a budget hotel,
Right.
which I felt, the time had come for India. I had just about enough money to build 25 rooms, and the hotel I needed to build required, was 50 rooms and required more money. So finally, a lot of my friends chipped in. Okay, all of them made a lot of money subsequently. But they all chipped in small amounts, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakhs. And they called it love money. Because I used to ask them, why did you put this in?
Right.
That was the origin.
Wow, that's quite a draw though, all your friends coming together. And you were also planning to take it easy, weren't you? And you said, initially, that's what we've all read and followed, is that you said, okay, I'm going to have one hotel, built to the kind of specifications I want, play my golf, and just chill out, enjoy life once I have this project. But clearly, something else happened, and here you are today with many hotels to your name. So what made you, again, change course there?
Well, when, I was lucky. When I, started building the first hotel, about 10 ex-colleagues of mine from the Taj came and joined me. And I think there was one traitor from another international chain. And once they came on board and we built the first hotel, it worked to the specs that we had designed it for. It gave us a very good return on capital. And they said, we're making a lot of money, why don't we build a second hotel? Actually, the first 10 wanted to retire with me. And then we built a second hotel and so on and so forth.
And you've extended that affordable theme, so to speak,
That's right.
Give me value for money, also in the housing segment, and you're also looking at the vocational training aspect. How does that sort of mesh in, or is it a natural brand extension?
Well, one is brand extension, one is extension of core competence. So we have one of the largest project development teams in India. So I have about 120 engineers and, architects and so on who work in a subsidiary company of ours. We have the core competence to execute very large-scale projects, and we have access to very large pools of capital. So we said, why not get into affordable housing? Because my theory is that while there are a lot of companies in the housing space, they don't provide an on-time, affordable, high-quality product today. So that's my theory. So although it's crowded, I'd love to operate in it. So you're right, we are getting into it. We've actually built a model apartment. We are now looking for a large plot of land in Gurgaon to build a few thousand apartments. Vocational skilling, well, we have a separate company. It's called Head Start. We currently skill about 2,000 people a year. It's a new company, 2 years old. It's already profitable, strangely. But really what we like to look at is getting into sectors where there is a clear social need. It is targeted at the middle class Indian and where we can bring a clear core-competence.
How has Patu Keswani as an entrepreneur really changed? Have you really changed essentially as your business grows larger? Do you find yourself perhaps getting more relaxed in a way, or is it becoming, or are you getting more and more focused and becoming a bigger and bigger brand?
It's not, well, I'm not more relaxed, I'm sure about that. But what I have become is I have learned to let go more and trust more. Because now we have a few thousand employees, I think a little under 4,000 employees. And we've got a huge bunch of talented people. So I'm learning to let go. That's number one. But as far as my, the passion goes, that is not reduced at all.
Right, absolutely. And talking about your passion, and I mentioned quirkiness as well. And one of the things I mean, as an animal lover, I loved about your hotels is this canine board that you have. You encourage your employees to sport ponytails. And what was it? In the beginning, was it just a translation of your own personality, and now it's become more and more deeper ingrained into the brand, more of a sort of a conscious extension?
Well, it started as follows. When I was in IIT, I had a ponytail. And those were the best, least responsible years of my life. So when I became an entrepreneur, and as you very correctly mentioned earlier, I did that to really retire. When those first 10 colleagues I talked about, all former colleagues of mine and now again colleagues, they said, you know something, why can't we grow this too? And they all grew these ponytails. And in fact, one of them, who was the eldest of the lot, one day came and he was completely shorn because it so happened that his college-going kids had told the mother that if dad can have it, so can we. Oh. So at night she, like Delilah, did Samson act on it. And he came all naked on his head. So, we had fun in the beginning. And then gradually as the company grew, it got instituted into our brand. And, so we have a lot of fun, a lot of quirkiness. There are dogs all over the place. The dog story is simple. The first day I opened my office, it was in my sister's apartment, 1 floor below where I lived. A dog, my son brought a pup. He claimed the pup had followed him, and it was clearly not true. And the pup, instead of following my son, came and sat in my office, and for the next 8 years, stayed in my room.
Is he still there?
She. Sparky, yes. We are an equal opportunity employer as far as gender goes.
Oh, that sounds absolutely adorable. But, Patu, you're such an interesting and multifaceted personality, and it reflects in the companies that you're building.
Thank you.
And a lot of youngsters, of course, hope to aspire to becoming future entrepreneurs like yourself. Let's take up a question from one of them. And we've got a question coming in from Mukul Mathur, who's talking about 5% of your workforce, which constitutes of differently abled people. What were the initial challenges you faced while deploying such manpower?
Well, we have about 300 people who are differently abled. The way we look at it is that we don't look at it as differently abled, we look at it as opportunity disabled. Okay? Now, a lot of India is opportunity disabled, so we took a call about 2 years ago that 25% of the company would be people who are disabled either, due to birth, due to physical handicap, due to economic reasons or educational reasons. We started with the speech and hearing impaired. I think 1% of India, about 12 million people, are speech and hearing impaired. And we brought 2 into the system. And I'm very, very happy because our employees wholeheartedly welcomed them. And the challenges we faced were very simple. Initially, it was assimilating them and training our people to speak in sign language. So today I can tell you that every manager, we have 800 managers in our company, all of them, if they want a promotion, must speak Indian Sign Language. Okay, even I myself know a few sporadic words.
Right. Wow. So that's you created the system. We created a system,
and then we tied up with about 15 NGOs to access people.
Right. So we'd love to ask you more questions.
There's a pitch I want to make. Yes. I want to make a pitch to anybody who's watching this program that they are fantastic employees, and it's our job to give them jobs.
Right. Patu Keswani, we'll continue with more questions for you, and hopefully I know you will have more questions for our young entrepreneurs. That's the next part of the journey. We'll take a short break. You're watching Lufthansa Runway to Success. Coming up next, we'll have our business expert joining us on the show along with our 3 entrepreneurs. Stay with us. You're watching Lufthansa Runway to Success.
27 businesses have qualified for this season. Meet 3 such innovative entrepreneurs today on Lufthansa Runway to Success.
Welcome back to Lufthansa Runway to Success. We are here at the Lufthansa Business Lounge at the new Pure A Plus, a quantum leap in passenger comfort. And we are now joined by 3 young entrepreneurs who will share their exciting business ideas with Patu Keswani. The show becomes a little competitive now, as one amongst these 3 will be selected as the winner of this round and will win himself a Lufthansa business class return ticket to any one of over 280 destinations where Lufthansa Group flies, including Europe, USA and Canada. He will also qualify for the semi-finals of this season of Runway to Success. The winner of our grand finale will win a mentorship from Canaan Partners and TIE, and also a sponsorship to a business program at Cambridge University. A lot of valuable goodies in store for our winner, so let's set the ball rolling. We will invite our 3 entrepreneurs one by one and ask them to present their businesses in a 3C framework: company, customer and competitors. But selecting a winner will not be an easy task, so we've invited a renowned business expert to help Patu Keswani in deciding the winner of this round. Please welcome Raman Roy, CMD, Quattro Global Services.
Hi.
Hi, Raman. Let's call upon our first entrepreneur on the show. It is Rajat Dhariwal, founder and CEO, Mad Rat Games. Right, Rajat, welcome to the show. You've got some very interesting games, which tells us a little bit about your company. But tell us a little bit more for the judges.
Sure. So we are one of the most unusual businesses you've seen of creating board games. Getting into board games is not easy. You have to go to IIT, then go to Carnegie Mellon University, work at Amazon, then leave all of that and teach kids at a school for 4 years, inventing game-based learning methods. And that's how I started Mad Rat. Now our first product, Aksharit, which is the first word game for Indian languages, was a big hit, and that basically brought out this latent demand that parents have today of mindful entertainment, which balances fun and learning for the kids. So we have created 72 such new games in the last year alone, for which we were awarded as one of the top 10.
IPO of all these games?
Yes, we do. Aksharit, for example, we hold an international patent for that.
Why do you feel it is better to have physical games rather than online games?
Right. I think one thing is the physical games market, especially in India, it's a blue ocean. There's nobody here, no innovation, digital technology, nothing has touched this market for the last 25 years. So we have a very good first mover advantage. Mobile games, a lot of companies are already doing things, so it's a big differentiator that we have. Secondly, I think mobile games and physical games are very complementary. Mobile games provide a very solo individual experience, whereas board games provide a very social experience.
Aren't you limiting yourself? Because as the world is getting increasingly, electronic, won't competitors of yours move into the electronic space and start perhaps offering even a social experience? And you can play bridge today.
We see so many untapped markets, like games are only for kids, understood only for kids in India. But you have games for teens, the spaces, you can have games for housewives, elderly people, for family occasions. So if a family has to sit together and bond and play, mobile games make it very difficult. Even movies, malls, none of those things provide this kind of experience.
So Rajat, how do you get to your target market?
Right. Mothers find these games are primarily the retail toy shops. So we have a large distribution network across the country. We reach close to 40 cities through our 50 distributor partners. And we also are present in bigger chains like Shoppers Stop, Hamleys, Landmark, Central and others.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now let's call upon our second entrepreneur on the show, Vineet KKN Panchi, the founder of Jingles India. So Vineet, Q.
When I was in college, my ultimate dream was I wanted to have a band, and my dad would not have any of it. So I wanted to go back, and the first thing I wanted to do was to start up a music studio. absolutely foolish thing at that time. I put all my money in it and I was about to go bankrupt in 3 months.
Your story will resonate with a lot of youngsters who are
sure.
watching, and we all want to know, Vineet, how did you build a business model on this? What is the business model you're offering?
So there are two things. One is that one must appreciate that a lot of talent, especially in the creative fields, exists across India. And especially in smaller towns. For example, in my town, Dehradun, there were so many musicians. You know, there's one in every gully almost. The problem was that none of these guys would get regular work. So they would play in restaurants, or they would, you know, form a band and play in shadis or whatever. There was no structure or a product that could use the skills that these guys had for the last 3 years.
So you're saying you have the first mover advantage?
We definitely have the first mover advantage. I mean, just look at the way our business has grown.
The first mover takes all the risk.
Which is true.
And creates the entire model.
Absolutely.
And the second mover just, you know, doesn't reinvent the wheel. He just, you know, maybe tries to tinker a bit, re-engineers and goes forward. So how are you going to stop somebody from doing that? Or can you?
No, I can't. And there are other people who've tried this model and they've had decent success. I think the only way we can continue to grow this model is to continue to grow at the pace we are growing. You know, there are entrants, and for example, from year 1 when we were 3 people, we are now 37 people in the company who are catering to about 20 hours of production across the world every day. We are in Canada, we are in Fiji, we are in you know, UK. Wherever there's a large Indian,
where the orders, I mean, some of your
wherever there's a large Indian diaspora, they will have Indian radio stations, they will have they will have telephone systems.
So you charge by the hour of what you do the programming?
No, we charge by product.
Talk to us about your revenue and profitability.
We just finished the last financial year. We closed it at 2.3 crores.
2.3 crores. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's great. There's one more entrepreneur to go on this round. Will he be able to impress Patu Keswani and Raman Roy? We'll find out after a short break. You're watching Lufthansa Runway to Success on ET Now.